Become a legend. Become a Helldiver.
So, that's obviously the scariest part of the game, but if you do actually load in, the world of Helldivers is terrifying. So, normally on this channel, if you can't tell by the name, I read scary stories, but I have been obsessed with this since it's released, and I need to talk to someone besides my fiance about it before she leaves. So, this video is just going to be broken into 3 chapters, and I'm going to cover aspects of why this game is so scary, both in the actual game world and real life consequences in the 2 weeks it's been out. Before that though, let me know down in the comments if you like this game, if you think it's scary, or if you've even been able to play it yet. I can't be the only one that gets servers full every time I open it, but without further waiting, let's get into it. So, when it comes to propaganda, there's really in-game propaganda and real-life propaganda about this game, and each one's pretty terrifying for different reasons, so we're going to start with the in-game, and I'm going to go back over that intro cutscene because it really just conceptualizes the entire thing so well. So, it starts with a message from the Ministry of Truth, which if you don't know is a reference to 1984, which is kind of a meme at this point for big scary government. But so we have Super Earth, and we follow this average Joe guy where everybody has renewable energy, electric cars. The police are really nice but also heavily armed. And he has a nice, perfect, diverse family that just so happens to get killed by this giant monster. And we have this guy pop up and tell us that this could be us next. This could be our perfect life, just destroyed by that giant bug. And what's the solution? Enlist in the military. And we see this guy do this cool ass transition, not gonna lie. And he looks way cooler, he's got a cooler voice. Best decision we ever made. And we have these people followed by a cameraman, so part of an elite force while they kill stuff in the background. See these beautiful new species, like going to a zoo, except you kill them. And manage democracy by shoving a flag inside of an alien. And all you gotta do is be a Helldiver to be all that cool stuff.
Become a Helldiver.
Now, this is a stark contrast when you actually play the game and you go up against these legions and legions of aliens and they just kill you and your friends over and over again, and you don't get to see anything cool. It's just barren wasteland after barren wasteland, and I haven't planted a single flag in anything. Launched a couple nukes, died a lot of times, but yeah, it's a lot cooler in the image than it is actually diving on those planets and getting killed by alien insects and eaten. But I think that's what's scary about this, is if you were actually on Super Earth and you watched that video and signed up, I mean, what do you do when you actually drop in that pod? I mean, there's nothing you can do. So that's terrifying, but also it spreads into real life as well. So before I even got this game, what convinced me to do it was the videos on social media. News stations, posters, people begging for help. You know, this planet's falling, we need help right now, we need everyone to get this game, everyone needs to play, everyone needs to help. You know, posting that Starship Troopers clip where it's like, do your part, I'm doing my part, you know? And it's really interesting how even for something that's not real like this, all of those videos and posts can go out and convince thousands and thousands and thousands of people to play. I mean, the whole reason I did that server joke in the beginning is because this game already broke GTA 5's record for max players in 2 weeks for one of the most popular games ever that's been out for years. Over a decade even. And that's pretty insane. So right now I'm going to show you some of the posters I've seen, and just let's read these and just look at this. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Take back Meridia. War, what is it good for? Democracy. Smash the enemies of freedom. Spill oil. Mercy is treason. Now, what's so ridiculous about these is that they actually work. Like, they're honestly effective. And it's scary to me that propaganda made by some guy for free for a video game can get, like, 400,000 people to go onto a game at one time. So, yeah, the real life implications of that aren't so great, but at least we're having fun now. But, yeah, that's it. Propaganda, always terrifying. So, a war on two fronts. So, I recently finished the show Band of Brothers on HBO, because that other game, Hell Let Loose, which was the new popular shooter before Helldivers 2, I guess. But in the show, it follows the 101st Airborne Division as they go from D-Day all the way into Germany in the end of World War II. And there's a scene at the very end of it that really made me think of this game, where the guys are sitting there and they're celebrating, you know, being done with the war, and they're watching footage from the war in Japan on the other front. And then they get the news that they're going there next, so, you know, they can't even celebrate. And it's kind of the same thing in Helldivers 2. A lot of people start out with the Terminids or the bugs on the eastern front, and then they move over to the western front with the automatons, which I'm going to say are harder. Everyone I see says they're harder, so if you don't think so, you're wrong. But it's terrifying because in the universe of Helldivers 2, you're in this position where you might make it out of one war, like you might completely get rid of the Terminids, liberate the whole universe, and then you immediately have to go to the more brutal front on the other side of the universe with no time in between. So being a Helldiver just seems like a thankless, terrifying, shitty job where you fight over and over again with no end in sight. And no matter how much you're fighting on one side, you're always hearing about, well, you should see what we have to do over on this other front, or what's going on over here. And the parallels to real life situations like that are interesting, but in universe for the actual Helldiver characters, I think that's really scary, having to deal with both of those at one time, because you're really surrounded on all sides. And they keep hinting that there's going to be a third or even a fourth front with new enemies, so we're really never going to run out of things to shoot. Now, I mentioned it a little bit in Chapter 2, but we're really in an endless war, or at least the Helldivers are. And it's interesting because every time you beat a mission, they always say something like, oh, we're one step closer to democracy. Oh, you can vote another day. But it's interesting because no matter how many battles you win, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. Like last night, for example, my friends and I spent a good hour and a half clearing the sector out on Malevolent Creek, and we got 0.0002% liberation from that. And I think the idea that hours and hours and hours of fighting gives you a fraction of a percent towards winning, and then there's always just more planets with more enemies and you can never really clear them out, is horrifying. It reminds me of the movie Starship Troopers, where they would send wave after wave after wave of people, and no matter how many people died or how many bugs they killed or how many aliens they defeated, there was always more and more and more. And there was never an end in sight for anyone, and anytime anyone brought it up, they just kind of got dismissed, or, oh, you know, that guy's crazy now. And I think that's the perfect way to end it, is that this is the most terrifying part in the game, that everything else we talked about is going on, and the entire purpose of it is for a war that will never end. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and let me know down in the comments, like I said, what you think of this game so far, what you think the scariest part is. But damn, it's awesome. So thank you for watching.